Hello, Eurovision party people. Welcome back to Eurovision is My Religion, where we chat, laugh, and cringe at the Eurovision Song Contest. It's chill, it's funny, and it's the Eurovision hangout you didn't know you needed. Join us as we dissect the Euro madness. I'm your host today, Katrina, and with me I have Please Ban the Wet Hair Effect look, Simona.
Please do ban. Thank you.
Please ban rapping in Eurovision songs, August.
Rapping is not singing.
And please ban shirts on hot Spanish guys, Gerda.
That I definitely agree with. Who doesn't agree with that? Oh, August. Yeah.
August, yeah.
Fair enough.
No, I have no problem, but I'm just not attracted.
You
which,
don't
which
have
is
to
fine.
be attracted.
Sounds
to
like you
people.
have a
Fine.
problem, mate.
Yeah, but you brought this point, so I'm just responding with my perspective.
Shirts off.
Okay, so as we see, Euro madness is not stopping, and we wrapped up last weekend with 3 new songs as Latvia, Finland, and Italy had their national finals. We also had the 4th or the 5th heat in Lithuania.
Fifth.
I lost count.
Final one.
And the second one in Sweden. So with that, let's kick off. And I suggest we start with Latvia today. And its final called Supernova, where Dons with his song Hollow won the final. So guys, I have a question for you. Do you think Latvia has chosen to keep their non-qualification streak? Or are they finally breaking their magnificent streak?
How long is the streak?
Good question. So Latvia has not qualified since 2016.
Really?
Yeah, quite a few years. 2016, they had Justs with a Heartbeat. And before that, 2015, it was a very successful year for Latvia. They had Aminata with Love Injected. You remember that song?
No.
One of my favorite Eurovision songs probably ever. And before that, there were another 6 years of non-qualifications. So in the past 2 decades, Latvia qualified 2 times.
They're not very consistent, feels like.
They're consistently not qualifying.
Mhm.
That's
So
true.
I
In
think
all
they are
fairness,
consistent.
we are really consistent in that.
So what are we saying?
Yeah, I don't think the song speaks for me, and I don't know if it's because I don't like the style. He obviously is a good singer, and he has a powerful voice, and the tone is nice and everything, and the song, I think the chorus is quite a little bit catchy, but it's just slow, it's melodramatic. He's thinking about being sick of the world, trying to force him to be a believer, and everybody else is shallow, and he doesn't want to be hollow, which implies that he's deep, and he's sick, and he's deep, and it's slow, and I don't know if I feel it all.
Got it, August, got it.
I don't know if I feel
You're
it.
going to learn all the lyrics again.
Yeah.
Anyway, to put it slightly shorter.
That's what she said.
I think if semi-final is not like, if there are not many ballads or slow songs, I think it actually could push through to the final. I don't think it will perform very well on the final. It will be towards the bottom. But I think just by definition, I haven't heard that many ballads and stuff like that so far coming out, or not just not as many as maybe I would hate to see.
Yeah, I think for me it was kind of a solid performance. Not my favorite type of song, but it was quality. So I think they could qualify. If they don't qualify, I'm not gonna be upset. But I also see them kind of just going through and maybe, as Simona said, not doing well in the final. I think they tried doing something kind of wacky and more interesting 2 years ago, and that didn't go well. So I think in terms of picking another wacky performance, which there were some options, I think they went with something solid that maybe is more likely to qualify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, solid, a bit predictable, a bit boring. I wish it wasn't Latvian. I think that would make the song a bit more interesting. But it is in English. I was telling to you guys earlier, as I briefly turned on the Supernova in between some other finals that were going live, and I saw 5 seconds of the performance. I for a second I thought it was an interval act already, and they had Rag and Bowman, and I was like, "What? Latvia? How did they afford him?" Obviously, this is a huge compliment to Dons, but that was the voice really reminded me of Rag and Bowman.
Yeah, I think at least it's a better compliments than what I had written, which was it sounds like Imagine Dragons, and now that I'm thinking, it doesn't sound at all like Imagine Dragons. So
I saw Redditors comparing them to Imagine Dragons
maybe
as well.
I'm the Redditor, you don't know
Yeah,
that.
maybe, yeah. And Hosier as well. That was another comparison.
Yeah, this full-on male vocal. That's powerful.
Yeah, but not the song. The song is not similar. It's just the type of a vocal, I think, that could be similar to Hosier and stuff like that.
Yeah, so did Latvia have any other solid options instead of Dons? I know the Eurofans really supported Vesteles with their song Kur.
I think Kur for me was the same kind of vibe as last year's Latvia's performance. I really like the song. The staging is nowhere to be found, and they should just get rid of their IKEA lamps. And I know that they are from IKEA because I'm looking for a lamp, and it's from IKEA. But the song is really nice and kind of nice to vibe to, but it would suffer in Eurovision. I think it's definitely a better choice to go with Hollow. I think it's a more memorable song.
People really enjoyed the Kur song.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice the IKEA lamp, but I assume it's because they're quite young, as I understand the performance.
I think they're still high schoolers.
Yeah,
in the final year of school.
There was a theory that they may haven't been sent because they're quite inexperienced, and to bring on this kind of big stage and big show, it's not an easy task.
I mean, one of the countries is sending like a 16-year-old, right? Like the one with the legs that we kept commenting on, so... Surely that's not a problem.
Yeah, but that 16-year-old, let's say, she may have had like a lot of experience on the stage, though, on big stages, and maybe they haven't had, so you're probably taking that into account as well. I just saw some comments that maybe that's part of a decision making. You want to send somebody with experience on big stages.
Yeah, but I think it sounded nice. Like I added it to my impromptu created playlist Eurovision 2024. It's just I felt the same about last year's Latvia, where the song was so nice, but it just didn't do well.
But it was so close to qualifying. It was the first under the line in their semifinal, and the number of votes that separated it from qualifying was so small. They were so close. They were just. Yeah, I don't know. I think Latvia this year, are they in semi 1?
Semi 2.
Semi 2. That's a stronger one, people say. Or is it the other way around?
Semi 1 is the
Semi 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is that, that's where Lithuania is?
Lithuania, yeah. You have Ukraine, Finland.
So they wouldn't really have neighbors to support them.
Yeah, but if the songs are not that good, then you also have a good chance to get through.
Yeah, true. So we'll see. The question whether they are breaking their streak or not remains open, I guess, for now. The jury is still out. Any other songs before we wrap up Latvia?
I think people surely want to talk about the Kitty Cat song.
Yes, I do.
I was hoping you would not bring it up.
Kitty cat, I wanna play with you, kitty cat, if it's okay with you.
Oh my
I
God.
definitely want to bring it up.
I saw a lot of people rooting for it on Reddit.
Have you listened to the whole song?
Yes, I saw the whole performance.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It just gave me the
So
creeps.
weird. Yeah. But it was mesmerizing. I was like, this is so weird. That I saw the main chorus and I was like, what the hell? I saw the whole performance. I was like, I'm so intrigued by what's happening. I don't understand. It's weird. But it's quite catchy, the kitty cat. But
yeah, but not in a good way.
No.
Simona, I kind of understand what you mean, because I also wrote in my comments that it's interesting. It's so weird that it's just interesting to see what happens. It's like
exactly.
Coming across a person on the street that is just super odd, and you're observing them from the side, and they're coming to interact and maybe talking to themselves, and it's like a captivating experience. You don't know what
Yeah.
will happen.
I was definitely captivated by
Would
that.
you vote for this captivating experience?
I
Not sure,
wouldn't.
not sure. But let's say I enjoyed watching it once.
Okay. I thought you would also enjoy watching her struggle to take off her jacket as well.
I haven't noticed that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was another on the list of,
I
strugglers.
really need to make the list.
Please, can you make a compilation video?
Yeah, I should.
Okay, so that's Latvia. Oh, and I guess the final point is their interval act was the Lithuanian singer Gabrielius Vagelis, who Eurovizija.LT is missing this year. He did not present a song to the competition this year, but he's spending his spare time visiting the finals of other countries.
I thought maybe he's participating because
Yeah.
we often get in Lithuania, this one Latvian guy.
He's like half Lithuanian.
Oh,
He was
okay.
born in Lithuania, but yeah, his name is Latvian.
Yeah, I thought he lives in Latvia as well. So I thought maybe Vagalis is following that trend
Yeah.
and going to Latvia to qualify.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I saw. I got confused. I thought that he is going for it, and I was shocked. And I was like, "What is happening? I didn't know this could be happening." But then I realized my mistake.
Yeah, brought me back down to earth, from thinking, oh my God, did Latvia get Rag and Bone Man to their interval act? Oh no, it's actually all they can afford is Gabrielius Vagelis. That feels more realistic.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that's Latvia. Next, let's talk about Finland.
Let's talk about Finland.
Yeah.
Yay. Let's talk about Finland.
Yeah.
Let's talk about all the Finland there is.
Finland. Yeah. Let's talk about Finland.
Finland.
So Bill Gates must be happy. And 90s are definitely back in Finland, where the Finnish selected Windows 95 man with their song No Rules. And it certainly was quite a spectacle, that one with overwhelming public support. And what do you think, guys? Was it a deserving winner?
I think so.
Feels like there should have been some rules. So,
About the pants.
the pants in particular. The rules should have been the pants.
But the build up to the prop, I thought
Yeah.
it's one of the best props that I've seen.
The jean shorts. That props or
No.
or which prop?
when he kind of pulls these kind of cords from the jean shorts
yeah.
And he
the
goes-
fire ring
Yeah.
goes off.
That was
Yeah, it was.
entertainment value very high.
Very high
Yeah.
entertainment value.
I liked it.
Very, very
I think
high.
for me, when I was watching the kind of all of the songs, it felt like there were too many joke entries. And then by the time we got to Windows 95 Man, I thought, oh my God, another joke entry. And I kind of just didn't like it at first. But then since I've been listening to the song again, it's so fun. It's just so fun. Like, it's really hard to hate that song because you just kind of vibe to it immediately.
I think I know why, at least in my opinion. Because when it's a joke entry and it's full on joke, then it's annoying. But the second singer, the first guy, the guy with the glasses and the
No pants.
the no pants guy, obviously is a joke and he's singing in a jokey tone. But the other guy looks like he's borderline taking himself seriously, but just a
But
little
just
bit.
borderline.
And he goes on the floor and poses in the sexual alluring pose. And he's also singing almost like he's serious. So it borderline treads on the line between joke and a little bit serious and fun.
Yeah, I think I also preferred the guy who was wearing clothes, not the one without pants. And I think we can draw a conclusion here that I like no shirts, but still keeping pants on.
Okay. Yeah, that's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line. Finnish man with no pants is where I draw the line.
What about Spanish men with no pants?
That's another story.
That's a story for another time. So the song that I was rooting for in before the final was Sara Sipola with Paskana. That's the song I had in my Eurovision 2024 playlist and listened quite a few times. But when I saw Windows 95 Man and their performance, it was, as we said, such a high entertainment value. I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if they won. And clearly, a vast majority of the public agreed as well. So the song that was 7th after the jury voting ended up first after the votes were combined with the public votes.
But I think jury vote is, the public vote is higher than jury vote.
Yeah,
in
what's the
Finland.
split? Is it 75-25 or
70-30 maybe?
70-30,
Yeah, quite
I
a
think.
bit, quite a bit more power to the public. Interestingly, in the juries, the UK was the only country that gave significant points to Windows 95 Man.
It's a bad sign.
The UK, who, by the way, the points were presented by Ole Alexander, they gave 12 points to Windows 95 Man. So the only country that was quite aligned, the only jury that was quite aligned with the public in Finland, apparently.
Yeah, I also liked Sarah Sipolis Paskana. And I think that's the song that stood out to me in the kind of list of joke entries, what I thought. So yeah, I think it was a quality performance, and the staging was really nice. I think the way kind of that light just kind of went around the stage was kind of mesmerizing.
Not an IKEA light.
And that,
Not an-
must have been more expensive light than the ones that Gerda
I
likes.
couldn't find this one on IKEA, so approved.
What I remember from that performance is the word internet. She always sings it so clearly. Internet.
I think it's because we can't understand
Yeah,
any
I think
other
it's
words.
because of that.
Yes.
It wasn't my song, I would say, Paskana, but I also have a comment that the effect just made me feel like I've been drinking, and not in a good way. But in fact, it turns out my internet was lagging and it was creating this effect.
It's quite ironic.
Yeah, exactly. I had to rewatch the song once I realized when it went to another song that the effect stayed. So the effects were fine.
Right. So talking of internet and talking of coming back to the name of this project, Windows 95 Man, they say that they might need to change their name because
Is it trademark or?
trademark, and the EBU might force them to change the name. Apparently, there was an precedent a few years back in a San Marino song where Facebook was mentioned in the lyrics, and they had to remove that word. So a lot of people are saying that the Windows 95 Man might have the same consequence, and Redditors are currently guessing what would they change their name to. Is it Doors 93 Person? Is it Linux?
Party Boy 95.
Yeah. How far will their imagination take? However, some sort of spokesperson from Microsoft.
I love it. Like spokesperson from Microsoft got involved at this early stage.
This is someone posted this on Reddit, so we still need
It's
to validate this.
100% true.
Okay, if it's in Reddit, it's true. It's 100% true. So some sort of spokesperson from Microsoft apparently said that they are quite neutral about it, and they no longer associate the current line of products with that particular product, which is Windows 95. The logos and everything is dated. It's not something they are selling these days. So they wish Windows 95 Man all the best, and they
Nice.
have no problems with them.
I just wonder if they called themselves Microsoft Dynamics 365, and that would have been a very different story.
Yeah, so we'll see. I really hope they manage to keep the name. They manage to keep the merch that they are wearing. And did you see in the green room who was sitting next to them? It was a giant Clippy, which was the most.
Nice.
Oh my god, really?
That is good. What a good
And
throwback.
that's why they won. I think that's why. You win for these details,
So
right?
exactly, attention to detail. So I really want to see a giant Clippy in Malmo. Please bring him over. Okay, any other songs that stood out for anyone?
I felt that, well, I made some comments. I wouldn't say it was a song that I liked in particular, but Dancing with My Demons.
Out of my mind, dancing with my demons like the queens in a dead.
The girl with a lot of...
Of course, you would like that. It's emo song.
no, but I felt like my comments are not really about the song that much. It's that her shorts seemed very low, like dangerously low. I was very worried, and I was very worried that this is coming back. I knew it might be coming back, but anyway, it got very sexually charged at some point as well, with some very sexual dancing. I did like that part, but outside of that, it was really weird performance. I didn't understand. Her voice didn't seem to match the song sometimes.
Yeah, and
So-
at some point she was licking her spiky shoe. I found that moment weird.
That was the end of a sexually
Yeah.
charged part. that part, the end being not mine, but the before it was good.
Oh, I thought you meant like a cherry on top, the ending.
Licking the shoe.
And August, I have a question for you. Have you looked into the lyrics of Cine Sabotage Quoi moi? Given that you often like looking into the translations of these Eurovision song lyrics.
Which one? The Dancing with Demons or another one?
Cine Sabotage
Oh,
Quoi
no.
moi?
No, I didn't.
So basically, Quoi moi means peel me, and the song she keeps saying peel me like an onion. And let me quote a few lines from that song. It's quite sexually charged, that someone I would
Yes.
say.
Get
What's
it.
with the Finns? Has it been like
It's been
slow
a cold,
summer?
cold
Slow
winter.
summer.
Slow
winter.
summer.
Slow winter.
Let's dive deep. I'm ready. Open up my onion. Undress me. Grab me by the hips. Peel me like an onion. Get ready for them tears. Undress me. Dive into my core. Peel me like an onion. I've got layers. And then she just keeps saying, peel me, peel me, peel me, peel me.
Wow.
Well,
Oh.
that's a new one. I'm borrowing that.
I,
You know.
I feel
I
like I was a different person before I knew these lyrics. And
The
I'm not
Kitty
sure.
Cat song and then peeling it like an onion. It's a
Yeah.
strange week.
I thought that the most interesting part about that performance was the wig reveal, but I was wrong. Clearly, I didn't understand the message.
Yep.
I never associated onions with with sexiness.
No one did.
No one did.
I don't think, I
Yeah.
understand when they compare it to like having a lot of layers, but not in this. If you have that many layers, that's something else. It's just weird.
Well, it's Finland. It's cold there. You have to have many layers.
That's
It's
true.
true.
Could be.
Maybe they refer to the blankets that you need to peel off before things happen. Understandable.
Yeah, or they're referring to crying, which happens during sex. Onions crying.
Okay. Well, it happens to sex to some people. I think Vox Populi was wasn't it like a second place or something? It was, I think,
No,
Maybe not-
Sarah Sipola was second place.
okay, maybe not worth talking then. I just know that Reddit was talking about it.
Vox Populi had
Yeah.
quite a few supporters, and I didn't hate the song until I realized some of the details about one of the performers. So Michael Gabriel apparently used to have a tattoo of Putin.
A
That,
positive tattoo? Not a
well,
not a caricature?
I actually have the image of that tattoo. You want to
Oh
see?
wow.
My God.
It's called Sad Putin. So he has since removed this tattoo. I think since Russia invaded Ukraine.
Oh, because Putin was great before that.
Yeah.
We all knew Putin as a great guy.
It's an interesting tattoo choice, I have to admit. I never thought of that.
Exactly. So this fact from his history kind of made me like the song less. Let's put it that. So the third country that selected their song this weekend was Italy, with where Angelina Mango with her song La Noia won the world famous Sanremo festival. And of course, the primary reason of Sanremo is not to pick a song for Eurovision. Sanremo is just a week-length celebration of Italian music. And I think in total, Eurovision was mentioned maybe 3 times across 4 or 5 nights. So that's certainly not why these amazing Italian singers are competing. However, Angelina Mango has already confirmed that she will be going to Malmo in May and she will be representing Italy. And interesting fact is that this is going to be the first female who won Sanremo and will represent Italy at Eurovision since 1964.
Really?
What?
Fucking
So
sexist.
a huge win for equal rights in Italy, I must say.
Is it just like a solo singer, or because obviously
There were two women that represented Italy since then, but they would not be the winners of Sanremo. So they would go, it's either the winner would decide not to go and they would go instead of them, or
The
this
broadcaster
kind of station.
basically picks the
Yeah.
participant.
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
Yeah, I'm
refuse.
just thinking
Instead of the winner.
if they're
And-
part of the band, because Maneskin obviously
yeah.
had a
I
guitar
mean,
player.
if we don't count
Yeah.
her, yes. If
And
we
there
don't count
was a lady who sang 6 Degrees of Separation, but I guess maybe she
her.
didn't
She was probably
won
one of those
Sanremo,
that didn't win. So yeah, that's the first instance when a female singer won Sanremo and will go to Eurovision since 1964, which is quite
Unless
a long
something
time.
happens.
Unless
There's
something
still
happens.
time. COVID can happen.
And interestingly, she didn't actually win the public vote. And the public was supporting another act, but the juries gave most points to Angelina.
Yeah, I think the voting split for the televote is a bit controversial.
Absolutely, please bring on these
60%,
controversies.
isn't it?
60% of televote went to the second place winner. And I saw some comments on YouTube, on Reddit, where Italians are blaming all kinds of demographic groups for that support. So I saw
Wow.
somebody mentioning the fangirls, somebody mentioned the Southerners, and it got borderline racist. So yeah, I guess a lot of discussions around that televote generally. But yeah, very overwhelming support for the second place act, and none of that support really crystallized from the jury. So I think that's why, yeah, he didn't do as well. But I think that was the right choice.
Yeah, I really didn't like that second song. I
Yeah, me neither.
really didn't like it.
Yeah, I
don't
don't
understand.
understand what was the point. like,
Gali? What was his
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
Geolier.
Il me tu
Yeah.
pite.
Was he
Thank
the guy from the Napoli area? And basically people were saying that
I
the
think that's
entire
right.
region,
Yeah, and I think that's what they were saying, like,
We're
oh,
voting for him.
Southerners are voting
Yeah,
for it. Yeah.
yeah.
Or the fangirls.
He had
Who
some.
is that then?
I don't know, because somebody were bringing up receipts, like where the most streams on Spotify for this artist are coming from. And I'm like, this like whole political drama about the televote was really entertaining to read.
Oh, they take Sanremo very seriously in Italy. I saw that 90.7% of all TV audience was watching Sanremo that evening.
I think that this was record year though.
Mhm.
This has never happened to this level.
Yeah, yeah. So any other songs that stood out for you? I personally was supporting Annalisa with Sinceramente. Is that
I
how you
liked
say
it
it?
too.
I like that.
Sinceramente.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part. I liked the quando.
Quando.
That was
That
so
was the
catchy.
best part. Quando.
Yeah.
But
But-
outside that, I didn't like the
Exactly.
rest of the song. I like Quando
Yeah,
part.
I was thinking that the songs that really impress me are the ones that are always good from the beginning to end. But when there's parts which
good song.
no, but you know when there's most of it is good, but then there's some parts which are meh. Yeah,
I think most people can relate to this argument that you're
Yeah.
making. Yeah. I
And
guess
I really loved her French as well. What an amazing French.
Yeah, I think for me both of the songs, Angelina's and Annalisa's, were quite strong. I didn't understand the support for the second place winner, Gjoler. But my heart was fully dedicated to Mahmoud and his return. I think it was another really strong song, really strong performance. I guess maybe Italians don't want to send him to Eurovision for the third time, but I wouldn't mind that.
I really wouldn't
I
mind
think
that. Like
he
that
still
song.
doesn't deserve like the sixth place or something, like being
It was
out
the
of
sixth place,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
out of the Super Final.
which I think his song was definitely better than the second one.
Mhm.
So he definitely deserved to be in the top 5 for sure. I wouldn't send him to Eurovision. I loved Angelina's song as well, so I'm very happy. But 6th place. That's
Yeah.
a bit
None,
harsh.
none of the performers who have previously participated in Eurovision actually qualified for the super
Yeah,
final.
I
Because there
wanted to
were, I think,
say.
3 or 4.
I have 3 noted. So of course Mahmoud with 2 gold also loved it. Just the way that man controls his voice
Yeah.
and
It's
like, they
a
just,
God-given talent. I
Oh.
think.
so good. And then we had Diodato, who had Fui Rumore in 2020. That's the one I really loved. What did you think of? I
Speaking of amore,
maybe that song was not as powerful as his 2020 entry, but still very beautiful. And then we had the trio Il Volo
exactly.
that in 2015 represented Italy with their song Grande Amore that August really loved.
Yeah, I loved it, and I also thought it wasn't as powerful,
Mhm.
but I liked them. They looked like they were in quite good shape, so holding up good.
10 years later,
Yeah, still singing,
Still
still passionate. It's good.
I think there was one duet who represented Italy in Eurovision in the 60s or 70s.
Yes.
And they participated in Sanremo. So I think everyone's holding up well in Italy.
Ricci or Ricci Poveri. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do you know they are actually quite famous in Lithuania? They have a few hits that our parents' generation really, really like. It's one of those Italian bands. Can I sing? No, I can't. I'm not going to do that.
Do it.
But I can show you the songs you should check out. You will certainly know them.
Lasciami cantare.
But I'm sure
Is
is it that song?
Is that the song?
No,
No.
not
just any Italian song will do.
Sono
Viva
d'Italia.
Verlela.
No, I think there is a song that goes volevo danse.
Na, 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 na. Oh, that's a good song.
That's their song. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
had a few of these other hits, as I said, from like a few decades back that our parents would really know.
Nice, yeah. But
We haven't spoken about the winner, guys.
Oh, yeah,
Lanoia.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I liked it. I thought it was very energetic. I thought she had a powerful presence. I thought her singing was impressive given the fact that she was moving and jumping around and rapping. And I even liked the rap.
Oh, wow.
That's strong.
I thought
Strong
it
notes.
was well executed.
yeah, she was really confident and really kind
Super on
of
it.
controlling the kind of the stage really well. I don't know. I loved her performance.
Genuinely positive, and you saw the smile on her face, and it was beaming naturally. She wasn't trying; she was just positive, like Alexandra when she sang for Norway, and at the end of the
new
song.
crush.
No,
Nice, interesting.
I liked the performance.
She was really good. She was just the control of the stage, the expressions, everything. I loved it, and I love the beat. And it's such a different song from Italy, not to mention by a female of Sanremo winner. But it's just overall, I wouldn't even guess, apart from Italian obvious lyrics, that it's an Italian song. But I love everything about it. In all fairness, and I love the artist. Big fan.
Good song. It took me a couple of listens, but it started growing on me, and I quickly checked what the buckets are saying earlier today. Italy jumped to the 2nd place at the moment. It's just behind Ukraine. So do we feel Lanoia is a contender to take the trophy this year?
I think Italy is a contender every year. I think they always send really strong performances. So yes, and yes, all the previous years that I've been watching Eurovision.
They do send good performances most of the time in any case. So it kind
You
of
can almost expect them to be in the top 5 all years.
Yeah, the powerhouse of European music, the powerhouse of Eurovision. Let's see how well they do this year.
You mentioned the song Growing on You. I had a similar feeling because I woke up on Sunday morning, checked the news, checked that Mahmoud didn't win.
Oh, you were complaining to me.
I was instantly disappointed. And I was like, who is this person who won? Like, they're definitely worse than Mahmoud.
They're horrible.
They're horrible. And now I see why she won. She's solid. She's as good as Mahmoud.
I was thinking, I was so surprised that I knew your comments, and I saw the song afterwards, and I'm like, I think Gerda would like the song as well. But I know that she is disappointed,
like
probably
Mahmoud
because of
more.
Mahmoud. I was hoping not that second place song, but I
She
was quite
has
sure.
the same gangster attitude of Mahmoud.
Yes.
She looks like a female version of a young Mahmoud. Just edgy and unapologetic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unapologetic is a good word.
I think that's
yeah.
a good summary.
If only other countries learn that you can do all your 5 finals or something in 1 week and just get over it and select the song.
But it was a long week. Like
yeah, but
5
1
days.
week and it's over.
But I had to like Google like what's the structure, what's the format, like do I need to follow everything? Apparently they sing all of their songs for the first time, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. Then for the 2 days there are like 15 songs. So like they split half and people just perform the same song again. Then on the 4th day they do covers
Mhm.
of international songs. Not sure how that's related. And then on the final they sing the same song again. So in that week, you hear the same songs 3 times.
And I think they vote every single day as well.
Yeah,
because you get
That's why going into the final, there is already like a rough understanding of the order and who are the favorites.
a rough understanding. They kept on singing that same song every day.
But what I did notice, sorry, but kind of a bit off track, but everyone had a really good style every single night. They were
Mhm.
changing costumes. Initially noticed that with Mahmoud, my love, who just wore banging outfits every night. And then looking at other artists, I didn't see a single performer who was kind of, dressed badly or like really not stylish or not trendy. Everyone was so on point. I don't know who dresses them.
I mean,
Italian fashion.
That's just
Yeah.
Italy for you.
Yeah.
That's just Italy for you. And one final note, Gerda, if you haven't already, please watch the 50 men
Shades of
ballet
Grey.
dancers.
I did watch it.
dancing to Ravel's Bolero. It was quite a spectacle. Two comments on the Reddit made me giggle. One saying, "I've seen gay porn straighter than this," and the other one was, "Not a single woman on stage." Quite a visual representation of Sanremo in general.
Very aligned.
Yeah, I think my favorite was still Gigi Agostino's performance, which I later found on
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah.
It was just banger after banger and just wrapped up Sanremo really well.
And 50 half-naked soldiers, not sailors, dancing in a swimming pool.
Oh, yeah, that was there as well.
So Sweden had their second heat, and looking at my notes, pretty much identical to last week, as under most of the songs I just have boring, dated, basic. Sorry for being such a Sweden hater this year, but I think they really lost their charm and they are no longer producing anything too captivating.
I think it's very well deserved, your criticism. I felt the same. And I had my suspicions that maybe it's because Swedish producers, songwriters have been dominating all of the national selections. So we're now so used to that sound and that kind of production type that it just doesn't really impress us anymore.
Or they're just not trying because they're hosting this year. So
I
it's
don't
not
want to do it again.
it's not strategic because they know that they won't win. Maybe they're not trying.
So we had 2 songs that qualified this weekend. We have Liamu with his Imagine Dragons tribute called Dragon.
Imagine Dragons cover band.
With a song named Dragon. Like, okay, we get it. You really like Imagine Dragons. And Maria Sur with When I'm Gone, which is a song I've heard 1,000 times before. Like the most basic song. Which was decent.
It was decent.
I think,
liked
yeah,
it.
But
my
I like
Maria
not
song
exciting.
was okay. Her performance was very professional and like worked out, like properly
Swedish.
done Swedish performance. Song not very impressive. But the video that I've seen, there were some camera shots that I didn't understand if it's just the version I've seen again, but like the camera showcasing one ear and then another ear. Is that really? And I was like, what is this joy? Why have I
You've been
seen?
hacked.
I was okay. Well, anyway,
No, I don't know. Maybe they were. I just didn't notice it.
I didn't like the camera choices of the video clip that I saw.
Okay. So ears are not attractive.
Okay, maybe they'll do a better job in the final. Let's see. And then the last song, Fräulein Snusk, with their song Unga and Freya. They will have one more chance to compete and make it to the final. Apparently, the singer is associated with horses. It was not random that it was a huge pink horse on the stage.
That does
Her-
one get associated with horses.
Because her most popular song, she's quite popular apparently in Norway, however with certain demographics that I'll get to in a second. But her most popular song is called Ride Me Like a Horse.
That's a song I might listen to.
That is definitely sexually charged.
And apparently most of her songs are very sexually charged. What we saw this Saturday was really, really toned down compared to her regular music. So the aforementioned demographic that really enjoys her music in Norway, according to one Redditor, is teenage boys driving around with converted cars. It's not necessarily the most intellectual audience as well.
So I guess
Anti-urban audience, anti-many things that liberals might be pro kind of audience. So she's a bit of a controversial dividing figure, if I understand it
needs
correctly.
to represent this demographic to be a dividing, controversial figure. The song was weird, the performance was weird, everything was weird and controversial. I don't know.
So I think the way the televotes are split and shown to the audience is interesting because I think they split it into demographic groups by age.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see with this particular performance, the televote goes so between the age groups of 3 to 44, she was either first or second choice. And then drops down massively as you approach 45 to 75 plus age group, where she was last or the last, the kind of the second last. So
Are these the only demographic group? What's the point?
No. They're
3
split
to 9,
into
10 to
yeah.
15,
Which
16
is,
to
by the way,
29.
what 3-year-olds are voting?
Are you
Yeah.
even allowed to vote?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
3 to 9-year-olds voting on an app, so they have their phones as well.
Sure. Okay.
Their parents have their phones.
Well, the parents would be registered under their age group, I think. So it's, I don't know, weird situation for me. But-
These kids these days, huh?
Yeah, but just I guess to support Katrina's argument about teenage boys, I think very very obvious that it's kind of divided by age, and I think we're on the older demographic side on this one.
Do we have anything about that dragon guy?
That he's in an Imagine Dragons cover band? Yes.
That's about it.
He looked cute himself, but that's it.
Yeah, we're really scraping the bottom
Yeah.
of the barrel
Yeah.
here with
Yeah.
Sweden. So let's see what they do next Saturday. I really hope Melodifestivalen picks up the speed and does something a bit more exciting.
The quality.
The quality, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not the speed. Okay, so finally, Lithuania. Eurovizija.LT Heat 5, and we finally reached the end of the never-ending heats.
It's
And
not the end of a selection process,
it's
though.
not the end of the selection process, but we only have the final left. That will take next Saturday. And in this Heat 5, we find out what are the 2 final songs that we will see again in the final on Saturday. The Roop with their Simple Joy and Queens of Roses, Walk Through Fire. Those are our final 2 finalists.
I would say the Roop's Simple Joy is a little bit too simple for my taste. Maybe they should find some more interesting joys. What do you guys think?
I think it was very simple indeed and very pretty in that respect. You know, it's simple. I especially actually I preferred not live version somehow. But what I found odd is that he mentioned, I think, as part of the interviews, that he wants to bring Eurovision sometimes is like all about dancing and showcasing and stuff like that, and he wanted to bring to the small things. But then in the middle of a performance, he was dancing his song, like his dance choreography and stuff like that,
Repeating some of the moves he did before.
repeating the moves. And I was like, I thought that's going to be a very simple actually performance, which I think I would have liked a bit more to go with a message rather than running around like that and
I agree with
recalling
you. The dance ruined it for me as well. I found it a little bit cringe. The moves, yes, he repeated some of his own moves. Some of the moves looked like something copied from Fortnite, and it's 2024. Come on, It's not in trend anymore. The song I liked.
It's
a decent song.
Not
it's a decent
Eurovision.
song.
I don't know. It was kind of like very basic melody. I think it was kind of it sounds nice, and obviously was far better than anything else, I think, that night.
Yeah. They
So
still
deservedly
deserved.
qualifying performance, but just I don't know, something was missing, and I think they should just take a break from Eurovision.
I thought the message was very nice. The song is about simple joys. It's the music clip that they had with him and his kid and his apartment, and I liked where he spoke about the smell of coffee and simple things that give you joy in life. I thought it was heartwarming, but I also agree with Gerda that it's not maybe sparkly enough for Eurovision. It's a bit simple, and the chorus is a quite a simple melody.
Yeah, but a really nice message in all fairness. And again, I also like the video clip, but I just didn't like the live performance at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. As one of the jury members said, because the jury commentary is released as videos after each heat on social media. I can't remember who it was, but basically he said he gave them some constructive criticism and said, guys, like, you're great musicians, but maybe it's time to find life outside of Eurovision box. Maybe it's, maybe you had enough. You had few good runs, few good attempts. Maybe try something else.
Yeah, I listened to that as well because somebody posted that on Reddit. So I thought it has to be really interesting for somebody to take their time to translate the message in English to Reddit's kind of fanhood. And everybody agreed. I think everybody in the comments agreed. Take some time away from Eurovision. Kind of, you can come back, but maybe experiment a little bit more.
Exactly.
Because all of the songs, okay, this is simple joy and more simple song, but it's still kind of the same kind of performance, I felt. So
continuing with the idea of picking one color and having everything in that one color. This year it's green. Yeah, they need a break. So I guess going into the final, our favorite is pretty much clear around this table, at least.
VB Gang.
No.
cancelled.
Somebody please cancel Barekis, please.
No, but I'm worried that people might, because I guess the RUP won the public and the jury vote. Sylvester.LT didn't win the public vote in the first heat. And also I think there's a lot of public in Lithuania who will support VB Gang. I feel like, we will have something interesting on our hands next weekend. And I worry about Sylvester because he's definitely the most quality performance out there. But I think he may be, we'll see. We'll see how it will
And
end.
don't forget Il Senso.
I
Who
was
knows
gonna
how
say,
many
what if
SIM cards
we
will be
think it's
buying?
between VB Gang and Sylvester, and
It's actually
then the
intense.
SIM cards are bought, and Il Senso goes to Eurovision with all the finger movements and eyeliner.
Well, let's hope for the best. We need to remember that Sylvester.LT is not a famous name, right? So his song really got very popular after his performance. It charted in Lithuania. It reached #1 on Spotify and stayed there for quite some time. Maybe it's still there. Not sure.
He's been playing a lot in like concerts and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
funnily enough, it gets posted on Reddit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? How? Lithuanian
I saw that,
performance
like a revamped version of
from
the
Natalia Bunker's
song.
concert.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I saw it.
This is on Eurovision Reddit?
It's on Eurovision Reddit.
on the main page.
And people are getting excited about the revamp already. So I am hopeful. Keeping my fingers and toes crossed for good news on Saturday.
It would just be really nice to have a Lithuanian performance that we could support, because UK will be voting in the first semi-final where Lithuania will be performing. So we could actually buy SIM cards, guys. That is still
You
on
still
the books.
have a SIM card like a child.
Do you
We
not
all have SIM cards, I suppose.
So
Like
like
children.
transition to some kind of cloud-based solution.
Well, with no fairness, WhatsApp and everything. Well, I still need a SIM card. Well, always got
Roasted.
material to cut, you know.
No, thank you for the roast. Try again.
What about the Queens of Roses or that other song?
Oh, God.
Play the drums. Shout it out and be the burning flame. Yeah.
You tried to
That's-
skip it.
The aesthetics of
Yeah.
that whole performance was just not for me.
I was just really worried that her vagina will show. So that was what I was preoccupied. Like, just don't show your coochie on live TV,
Coochie.
please.
Especially with these shoes, with these heels.
Yeah,
Very distasteful.
In all fairness, though, I found that they had like I've seen quite a fair amount of Lithuanian performances by this point, and I think and I think at least they had like some kind of choreography and everything, and they could sing and they could do it together, and could dance in that sense. I appreciated that part, that it was like a performance that was prepared for.
Mhm.
They attended and nobody was behind a few seconds or anything. So that I appreciated.
Yeah, and I think it was probably still like second best performance of the night.
I think
It's just
I
so
think
bad. Like, it was
It
so
was
bad.
really bad. But you know what? I would have chosen the Billie Eilish impersonator,
that
April Free, instead.
very sad song.
Very sad.
In
So
all fairness,
sad.
I appreciated though that she said like in Eurovision you get a lot of sort of loneliness and sad emotions, and she was really trying to bring through, and she was quite successful in that. It felt like a very sad song.
She conveyed the sadness
She
well.
conveyed
Yeah.
it really well.
And it really reminded me of Billie Eilish in some ways. And Gerda, what about Patras with his shiny chest?
I found his visuals hilarious because they were a compilation of stock videos. Like, very clearly just downloaded stock videos that you get for free. Because it didn't work. I don't know what it was showing. It was showing like some busy roads, streets, forests, waterfalls, wherever, like everything went. So that distracted me from the apps. Sorry, even
And
I
I'm
have
not
my
sure
limits.
because he didn't take off his jacket either, and it was so weird because he just kept it on, so you could only have a glimpse of his oiled chest, and that's it. And that, I mean, I don't understand what's the point of that then. Either take it off or put normal clothes on.
Yes, I agree. If you're taking the shirt off, take
Take it
everything
off,
else
yeah,
off.
exactly.
But leave the pants on, as we
Yeah,
discussed
the
earlier.
pants
so,
needs
you
to
know.
stay on.
Unless
I'll
you're
work
Spanish.
a theory. I'll work a theory, guys. I will produce some notes for the men how to, perform in Eurovision. It's all good. When you were talking about April Frey, I did find it slightly funny that there was April Frey and there was Freya Ali, which, I don't know, just sound like two the same names for me, just like turned around.
Mhm.
And then the split of kind of jury votes and public votes almost kind of were opposite directions for both. So I think one got like 8 points from jury, 6 from public. The other got 4 from jury, 8 from public. And I thought maybe people are mixing them up. Maybe they couldn't remember who's who.
That could be the case. Freya Ali, the other one, the one that looked like a cheap Disney princess. The one that...
Serenade.
Yeah.
Whose biggest achievement is that her song was played on BBC Radio Kent.
I saw that. And then I heard BBC Radio, I was like, what? And then Kent, and I'm
Yeah.
okay. I could play
I
that.
was like, cool, regional station in the UK. But as long as it's in the UK, it's an achievement. So, you know.
Yeah, no, a few like under a few of those songs, my comment is who is dressing these people?
Not Italian.
Not in a
Not
different way
Italians.
like Gerda had for Italy. Who is dressing these people?
I think, yeah, it's very notable. I think that's why I noticed the Italian performances, because I was just so used to like criticizing fashion and costumes that I didn't have anything to say in Italy. But thanks God we have Lithuanian performances, you know.
The highest order of achievement, Gerda didn't criticize the dress code.
Okay, so anything else on Lithuania? Lovely. With that, we can transition into our social media. Echoes.
So I think pretty light content this week from my side, at least. I did see a lot of people promising to learn Italian after Sanremo, after not understanding what's going on in Sanremo. So a few memes of people kicking off their Duolingo journey so that they're ready for next week, for
Fair
next year. I did relate to that because I stopped my Spanish Duolingo, so you know, time to go back. Another kind of continuance of last week's news from San Marino. So of the 129 songs that we discussed last week,
God.
there are 4 AI written songs. So there is some calls from the Reddit community, you know, the most important demographic group in Eurovision, to just ban AI written songs, because I think that, you know, if they already have 4 in San Marino, it's very likely that next year we could have more in other countries.
But how did they know that? How did they know that they are AI written?
Do you think I read that article? I just took a screenshot of the headline, so...
Yeah, I just wonder whether the singers themselves revealed this fact, or
It just
someone
looks so generic that
It
you're
looks
it
so
must
generic.
be AI.
or someone used some sort of other intelligent AI, loaded all of the lyrics from all of the San Marino songs, and decrypted this way which ones would be AI written.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. What do you guys think about AI written songs in Eurovision or elsewhere?
And you say AI, I just hear na 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 na
Robots,
na na
Super Rob.
So that
I
song
think
could have
that was-
been written better by
I
AI.
think Rob, the super Rob.
You wrote it.
Rob should have written it. So that's all I think. I'm not sure if you've seen, there was a very big entry and sort of commentary around Finnish performance and the fact that Windows 95 guy won, because people were arguing that they're sick of joke entries, etc. And then there was like a really ranty post about why it's not a joke entry. And people were really riled up about A, if they're sick of joke entries, and B, whether this is a joke entry.
What
And C,
defines a joke
yeah,
entry?
what defines a joke entry? Is it a good or a bad thing?
I saw that discussion about what is a joke entry. I've seen some similar discussions on Reddit even before, where people were kind of discussing whether Karia's performance was a joke entry or not, whether it's maybe not a joke entry, maybe it's a camp kind of like really showy entry. I don't know. I think you know it, right? Like the Windows 95 man, it's a joke, right? Like it's a joke, but in a good way. Like there's
I think
nobody's
he intended
criticizing.
it to be a joke. Like, you don't show up pretend without pants, and then to be like, this is a serious song, please take me seriously. Like, you knew what you were doing. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
if that's your
Exactly.
intention.
Joke
You know?
doesn't mean bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just because there are quite a few these jokey performances in national selections this year. That's why I think that discussion is being brought up a lot.
For example, kaboom. If you get kaboom, what will people say? Will say the same thing?
It's joke and bad.
Yeah, and it's a bad
Yeah,
joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, then it's a question of what makes a good joke versus bad joke.
Valkyrie is a good example of, I'm not sure if it was meant to be a joke entry, but it was definitely a funny and entertaining entry. But
And
it was a very
quality
quality
music.
performance and
Exactly.
quality song.
Yes, maybe that's in Eurovision context if the backing, if the fundamental soundtrack is weak, if it's generic, if it's not well thought out, then the joke falls even flatter, I think.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to have like a message or something.
Yeah.
But
Like Rachel last
Yeah.
year, like Let Free.
Yeah.
It was a joke entry,
Mhm.
but it had
yeah,
a very good message behind
exactly. Or think of Lithuania's best performance ever.
it. Mm-hmm.
We are the winners. It is a joke entry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's our best score, so
And I
really
think-
not to complain.
That was the joke entry that kind of, I think when I read those discussions on Reddit, some of the commentators were distinguishing between joke entries and troll entries. So
Mhm.
the entries that are
Mhm.
kind of trolling the essence of Eurovision. And I think
Mhm,
LT
mhm.
United were trolling the essence of
yes.
Eurovision. So it's kind of fits in any kind of slice or cut of joke entrance definition that you could think of. And yeah, it was still a great performance.
Yeah. Verka Serduchka, a joke entry, but it was
One of the
Great.
greatest songs.
yeah.
Yeah.
So not necessarily a bad thing, but there was people were really opinionated.
We love Reddit.
Yes.
And then finally, have you noticed some subliminal messaging that big clothing brands have been doing for the past few years? 2022, Chanel. 2023, Zara. 2024, Mango. What's next? Okay, so with that, I think we can wrap up this week's podcast, and we are eagerly waiting for what next weekend will bring us. And we will surely have some interesting opinions and cover it next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.